Hey guys, welcome back. We are now in part 2 of our Enterprise build, and I just have this mocked up. This is just press fit in. It actually doesn't press fit too bad, and I'm really liking the seams are very, very minimal on all of this. In fact, this seam right here, even though it's just pressed together, the seam on the back of the spine here is pretty much vanished. Very nice. And I'm on the underside too. But we're focusing on the nacelles. We'll get to the engineering deck. I've looked at some footage, actually went frame by frame through all of the footage that's currently available of this ship. The marker lights do flash. They flash in an odd pattern. I hope I remember to bring this up when we're dealing with the saucer section. I did see two lights at the tip of the bussard. There are two lights. I'm not sure if one is bigger than the other, or if the other one is one of them is angled and the other one is just pointing down. It looks to me like one of them is angled to point at the pendant, and the other one is just a down-facing light. So that is how I'm interpreting it. That is how I'm going to drill my holes. I'm kind of trying to figure out the angle of the light to shine on the pendant. So it's pretty much at a 45-degree angle, like the pylon here. It's almost spot on to that. The light's going to be right here, and if I take my finger and do this, that's spot on to the pylon words. Almost. You can see there's a little slightly different angle towards the tip of my finger. So I've got that angle. The other angle I need is this angle. And that's about a 25-degree angle from here to here. So I've got my X and Y coordinates for the hole I'm going to drill at the tip of the bussard. And as you can see, the bussard here, let me get out of the way of the light, that might help, kicks up a little bit at the end, so we have to keep that in mind too, because that's going to affect our angle slightly. That is what I've been doing this morning, is just thinking about the angle of both of these. And I'm going to start marking my drill holes for all these lights. The other two I am thinking about right now are the two lights, the two floodlights that go down the edge of this. They don't just go down the edge of this. They actually highlight this quadrant of the hull too. So I'm going to have to mount the lights. They're right here. Hard to see, but there are two little lights right here. And they do shine a little bit on this pylon, but this is where they kind of end up, and it's not as much of a floodlight as this. It's a more subtle floodlight. So we're gonna have to keep that in mind when we angle these two lights. Also, looking in the footage at this little light that I said I wasn't gonna do, the pendant light, there is actually, it's hard to make out, but in the footage, there's a tiny structure at the tip of this rectangular detail right here. So, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm still debating in my head whether I'm going to even try to do that. Otherwise, the rest of the lights for the nacelles are pretty much what I had in mind. I didn't see any other lights, any other changes here. So, beyond that, we are focusing on our actually bussard collectors. And I'm going to get something working with those, and I will be back when that's ready. I got a package in the mail from Evan Designs. It is all my lights. Yay, I got all my lights. So, I got my switch, I got my power supply. We're running this thing off of 12 volts. 1 amp. And my lights. I already opened one of the bags. This here, little info. Where's the bag itself? Here's the bag itself. You got 2 big bags. Alright, let's look at these. I have my Nano Cool White. And that's, where are they? These little guys here. They're little guys. You can barely see it. It's right there. We have our Pico, which are the super tiny ones. And you can tell there's an LED right there. These will be helpful in doing all the beauty lights. Or let's see, how many do I have? 4 of these? Yeah, I'll be doing the beauty lights that are on the nacelles. The ones at the ends of the nacelle to light up the registry numbers. The nanos, I got 2 of these. These will be for something else, the front of the ship, I think. We have 3 more nanos. Okay, I don't know why he shipped these in separate bags, but he did. Okay, that's 5. And these are going to be more Pico. There's 3 more Pico. So that should be enough. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, should be enough for the nacelles. Here are my flashers. Bunch of flashers. These are for the bussards and for the primary hull. Let's see here. We got the normal flash. These are cool white. These will be going in my bussards. These 2. And these are 1.8 millimeter. Oh, it's perfect size to fit into there. Right there, those guys. I think these are all 1.8. These are all 1.8. We got the red normal flash. We got 2 blue normal flash. Got 2 orange normal flash. And then we have 2 green and 2 red. And these are for the upper hull, the secondary or primary hull. Actually, see, I'm going to need some more lights. I need 2 more normal flash. But these will be all fine for the nacelles, for the bussards we're working on right now. I've currently got a little bit of paint on the end caps here. These things. Got some blocking, light blocking coat on these things. I've got the nacelles themselves. They are drying right now. And I will be putting some light blocking on them. So I'm going to get to work on that, and I'll be back when I'm ready to install my lights. Alright, we've got the first bussard collector assembled, as you can see here. Even with the end cap on. All the lights are in. I used 4 flashers. These are, I think, 1.8 mils. There's flashing LEDs. There were nubs on the end that I just took a little bit off of. Actually, I think I still have to take this one. Yeah, this is the blue one. I still have to take this one off. But I used 4 lights. Put them in here. We will do this in a second. Just show you the result here real quick. If I can untangle all my wires. Alright. You can see that's just the effect I wanted there. I got green, red, orange, and white blinking in there. And on the other one, the green will be replaced with a blue. So, let's get to work on that. I'm going to reposition the camera. I'll be right back. Alright, we have our 4 lights. We have all the parts for the end of the bussard collector. For the fan, we have the end, I guess, and we have the assembly, and this goes inside the nacelle. The fan blades here, I cut off a bunch at the end because I won't be needing it. I also sanded around it because this is a super tight fit into the receiver right here, and I attached the receiver. Now what this is for besides keeping this in place, is the lighting kit comes with an electric motor. There's a little recess in here you can drill out so that you can attach the electric motor to this end and put the end of it through here, and that'll line up with the fan blade, and that's what turns the fan blades. Since I don't care about that, I just cut this down a bit. Now what I want to do is get these lights into these 4 quadrants you can see. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to super glue these guys at all 4 of those points. So let me get started with that. I'll be right back. Alright, we got all 4 of our bulbs attached. As you can see, it's blinking pretty good, all different times. Now what I want to do is just get that in the holder here, and then we will get the fan blade. We'll glue that into the top here, and I'm just using a Sharpie to get the blades colored up. And all I did for the light diffusion is put a couple of coats of matte clear. Let's see, I got some Rust-Oleum matte clear here, and I got that all looking like that, nice and diffused. So I'm going to finish the assembly on this, and when I come back, we'll put these 2 side by side and take a look at them. Alright, I got these both together, and as you can see, they are flashing all over the place. That's exactly the effect I was looking for right there. So now we're going to move on to the nacelles proper. I'm going to get those painted because I want to get them painted first. They're right now they're in primer. I just washed them off. So I want to get these guys the final coats of paint on them, and then we'll be back. We're going to start by doing some of the lights in there. So I'll be right back with that. Alright guys, we got all of our lights installed and our bussards up here. So we have our 5mm blue in the back here, and that's for the caps for these guys right here. We have I think that's all that's on here is just the 5mm, and then the bussard right here. Oh, and when you're doing your bussard, the collector, don't do what I do and have to light block it afterwards. If you're putting lights up here, the inner part here and the lights, make sure to light block around there, otherwise you're going to get light spill out the back. I did that on this one but forgot to on this one, so there's just tape in there. So yeah, before you put this piece onto this piece with your lights in it, light block this. So we got our 5mm blue back there, got that up here. This is where all the complex lighting is. I have a strip here. What are they? I painted them blue. Turns out I didn't need it. I put enough blue paint on here. When I put it together and tested it with the blue, it was just a little too dark. So I have one of these, and that is under here. And this thick piece of styrene. What is this stuff? It's the thicker stuff I have. It is 1.0 millimeter thickness. That is right here to help dissipate the light. Behind that are the beauty lights for the number registry right back in here. There's a, move this stuff out of the way. There is a number that goes right here. And there's 2 lights, there's 2 Pico SMDs in there that will highlight this thing a little bit. Again, I didn't do the one up here, but I did do these. And we have our other beauty lights with another Pico SMD. It's hard to tell. I cut holes, and this is the difficult thing, because you have, if you're going to do these lights, you're going to have to put these pieces together and then cut your holes. They're right on the seam line. This is going to be interesting when we go to assemble this and fix the seam in here. That's going to be possibly a problem. But what I did is I cut a hole. This backlight's just a light. The front one is a directional light, or I wanted it to be directional light, so I cut it at an angle, the hole at an angle, so it is pointing at the secondary hull. And on this side, because I have more room to work, I put a Pico SMD. It's just kind of hovering above the hole, and then next to that, and this is difficult to see because my camera doesn't want to really focus on what it's supposed to, but there is a tiny piece of fiber optic that I curved at 90 degrees going from right where this light is out the bottom here, because this light is just a bottom light. Now over this, I'm going to put a piece of what is it here, electrical tape, to kind of help light block it, because you don't want to see light coming out the front here, because you definitely will, if I put these pieces together, see a white light under the bussard, and you really don't want that. So that is the lighting setup I have for this. I'm going to actually get this thing together and show you what that looks like all lit up. I'll be right back with that. Alright, we got this nacelle together now. You can see I do have a little bit of a seam to take care of on the top and on the bottom, of course. And here's all my wires. I did test this light on the hull, and it does light up the side of the hull, so I'm very happy about that. So yeah, it looks pretty good together. I did test all the lights work. Again, seam, and I have to get the end cap here. I gotta get this into here, and I'm gonna leave that a darker gray. It is darker gray from the screenshots I saw, so I do have to get a little bit more paint on this. It's not light blocking where I wanted it to. Also, I give it just a touch of blue in here, just in case. But yeah, so we're gonna go through this a little step by step here of what I did to light this nacelle. So I've started on the second nacelle here, as you can see. I already got the blue in to this. Nothing else done. I was having trouble because of the modifications I made to the underside here. I was having trouble getting this together, and you can still see I didn't quite get it together all the way. So I've been trying to mitigate that with cutting. There's a little section in here I cut off, not the part that attaches it together, but there's an inside flap. There's this kind of a shiplap or tongue and groove, actually more of a tongue and groove, where there's a little bit of a overlap underneath here, and that fits nicely into here. All these parts have that, and they do fit together well. So yeah, I just got rid of a little bit of plastic that was in the way, or will be in the way. The first thing I did on this side for these beauty lights is I attached the little plastic pieces, the little clear pieces, and then I came back with my what are these? These are Pico, right? These are Pico lights, and I just super glued them into position. Let's fire those up real quick. There we go. As you can see, they light up nice, and they will light through to this side. The next thing I'm going to do is get my strip attached over them. Well, actually, but first I'm going to take some Maltov pen. I'm going to paint in there just to get a little bit of reflection going, and then I'm going to put some electrical tape over this to light block it, and then over that will go my light strip. So let me get to work on that. Alright, that is the lighting done. All I have to do now is a little light blocking up here, run all my wires out this hole specifically designed for wires to come out of, slap these two pieces together, and this nacelle will be where this nacelle is. After that, we have to address the seam. That's the first thing we want to take care of. Then we can start adding detail parts like the end caps, a couple of fins up here, a little thing here, and finally the bussard. So next week we'll be finishing up the nacelles. I'm just gonna throw these together this weekend, get both the nacelles in the same state of affairs. So we'll be finishing up these with the seams and everything else, and then we're gonna move on to the main saucer. So I hope you guys will join me for that, and you all take care.